Hello, I'm Hansi Parchment. You're watching Talawa TV with Crystal Davis.
Golden Ricketts, how are you?
I'm doing great, thanks. How are you?
I am well. You've made my night. Before we get started, please go ahead and big up the greatest parish in Jamaica.
You're putting me on the spot. So I'm gonna big up St. Thomas because I was born there, and I'm also gonna big up St. Andrew because I grew up there.
I love that. I'll take that. 14.94 games record. You weren't playing about tonight, were you?
No, I definitely knew that the girls were coming out here to fight, so I had to bring my A game and war them.
What got you going? Was it the cold or was it something else?
It's the cold. I like competing in the cold for some strange reason, but then after the first jump, I feel like it got even colder, and then the breeze started changing. So, yeah, I don't know.
What next? What's next for you in terms of achievement? Because this is your greatest career medal, isn't it?
Yes. Apart from the World Championships, yes, this is my first gold. So what's next? I have the Monaco Diamond League next week, and I'm also going to be participating at the Knockout Championships in Bahamas.
Amazing stuff. And how does it feel to inspire the little kids in St. Thomas? Because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of them with their eyes gripped to the screen saying, I want to be like Golden Ricketts.
Yes, definitely. I hope to be an inspiration to them. I hope they see themselves in me. If them foot long, them can try the triple jump. You know, if them slim, them can try the triple jump or even high jump.
What if them have short foot?
If them have short foot, then can try to cause some foot short too.
Amazing. Best of luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
My followers, good afternoon, good evening, and possibly good morning. All depends on where you're based in the world. How are you all? I see the two gents there that are in the comment section, bright and early as per usual. Mr. Scott and King Charles himself. Good day to you all. How are you? Tia, where have you been? You've been in hiding. Good to see you around. Always good to have you in the comment section. Mr. Scott, he's referring to the starting 11. No, starting 11. What time is it? Almost 10 minutes to 3 a.m. here in London. He's referring to the squad announcement for our Reggae Girls senior team friendly against Paraguay, which is taking place in the November window. You guys know all about it, don't you? And in case you don't, here's some info for you.
Reggae Girls host South American stars of Paraguay in two friendly internationals on November 10. Pack the Montego Bay Stadium and show some love. Grandstand $2,000, bleachers $1,000. Then on November 13, let's rock the National Stadium. Grandstand $3,000, bleachers $1,500. Students 19 and under with ID. Both games in the bleachers for only $500. Sponsors, bring out the family and show some love.
Bring out the family and show some love. I'd definitely like to echo that. I think they deserve our support. Matter of fact, I know the girls deserve our support. Back on home soil next month, and I'm going to give you guys a bit of additional information there. Should be looking at some ticket information. Clearly, it says Jamaica versus Paraguay. First game will be taking place on the 10th of November at the Catherine Hall Stadium. Kickoff is 8 p.m. Jamaica time, and that will be on a Thursday. You should see your ticketing information there for you students. You're also in for I'm hoping it's an affordable price for you. It's $500 with your tickets as students 19 and under. And in some 3 days later on the Sunday, again, all in the November window, the girls will be playing against Paraguay in a reverse fixture at the National Stadium. So the two dates there for you guys to etch in the back of your mind as it relates to the Paraguay friendly, and I'm referring to the Reggae Girls senior team, is November 10th and also November 13th. Apparently, the great man King Charles is going to be in attendance. If you've never met a king before, there's your opportunity. I believe he's going to be at the Catherine Hall Stadium. So, yeah, have a little chat there with King Charles himself. I'm not sure if he's going to be traveling with the missus. If he is traveling with the missus, keep your distance, because some women tend to be a little bit jealous. So do keep your distance if you see him with his wife and family. But if not, if he's with the lads, then yeah, go over, greet him, tell him I said hello. He said he's going to be there, and I think we might get the man himself to come on a live stream pending that he makes it to the venue safe and sound. So there's your ticketing information, and the headline reads for itself. It says Jamaica recall Plummer and Matthews, and that is the former captain there, Konya Plummer, returning to the Reggae Girls senior team, as is Cheyna Matthews. Two players that we have pretty much dived into with regards to a possible return. This one's probably come a little bit sooner than expected for plenty of us there in the comments section. Mr. Fresh God himself, before I forget my manners, good day again to each and every one of you tuned into the live stream. Guys in the comments section, active as per usual. I hope your day's going well. Miss Brown, good day to yourself. How are you? How's work going? I hope you're not snowed under, and if you are snowed under, I hope that you're managing to balance yourself. And that goes for all of you in the comment section. Don't let work get the better of you. Try to get the perfect balance, get the job done, but also have fun in the process. And if you're not having fun, I'll probably advise you to look elsewhere. But make sure wherever you look, you secure it before you hang up your boots for your current workplace, current vacancy. Good day, Mr. Ryan Sports Classic. For those of you who aren't familiar with the slight rebrand there, that is Ryan LFC. And if you're not tuned in, I should say, if you're not subscribed to his channel, you should definitely go ahead and do exactly that. Make sure you go over there and show Ryan LFC, or now we should say Ryan Sports Classic. It's going to take a while to get used to that, isn't it, people? But you can kind of tell that it is him because the logo there hasn't changed. It's still, there's probably something you need to work on there, bro. Your logo, but the picture is still the same. The man is still the same. So head over there with the team, Jersey Boy, and also he has quite a few regulars over there, JT as well, or solids, depending on whether you're listening to his music or listening to his football analysis. So strong team over on the Ryan Sports Classic platform. See, you be with the crew. Hint, guys. There we go. I did say if he's with the missus or family, keep your distance. He's not going to be with the wife, so you can go ahead and you can bombard him for pictures and autographs. Lucky for you, lucky for some. You guys are in a much better position than myself. Can you guys even hear me clearly? I think I need to do something. Bear with me. Let me mute my mic. Actually, 1 second. Not really liking how I'm sounding audio wise, so I'm gonna try and enhance my audio a bit. I'm sounding a little bit flat. Well, at least I think I'm sounding a little bit flat, so let's see if we can make some improvements. Be best if I just turn off my mic, but hopefully it's not irritating you guys. I won't be long, just a couple more seconds. See, when you do a bit of audio work, you can always tell when something don't sound right. That sounds better to me, and I can hear myself. So yeah, there's a slight bit of improvement there. Hopefully you guys can tell as well. If I'm sounding a little bit low, let me know. Let me just turn up my volume a little bit. You can tell that I was in a bit of a rush with this one. Came home from work not too long ago and saw the squad announcement. And I was like, okay, I can't go to my bed without give you guys the official squad announcement. And then I'm going to love you and leave you and hope that you guys have a splendid evening, early morning for you if you're in the UK, a bit like myself. I hope you have a cracking Thursday. We're one step closer to the weekend. And if you are elsewhere across the diaspora, making your way home from work, I hope you get home safe and sound. And when the Friday arrives, I hope that you all enjoy it. Let your head down, no time for work, put your feet up and enjoy. And good day, how are you? We got my Canadian Ryan Sports Classic LFC. He can't get rid of the LFC. He can try, but he can't. Mr. Donovan, how are you, sir? Good night. Good squad selection. Is a good squad selection. I was trying to bring up a graphics from the Jamaica Football Federation, but I've not managed to come across it yet. So here's what I'm going to do. Instead, you're just gonna have to listen to me read it out. Sorry, people. Within the it's been at home for the last, they call it an hour now. Done my notes for you the best I could. And unfortunately, I couldn't do a graphics within the such a short turnaround, right? Good night to yourself. So we are going to be going through the squad announcement. Probably going to upset a few of you. I know at least for the king himself, he's probably split right down the middle. He gets to see the return of one of his most loved players. That's Konya Plummer. Adding to Konya Plummer is also the return of Shayna Matthews as well. And in case you guys are wondering why is it a recall? Well, it's a recall because you should know already if you're pretty active on social media that both Plummer and Matthews were away from the I can't necessarily say the national side, best say football altogether for personal reasons relating to pregnancy and childbirth. And we're going to touch on pregnancy and childbirth later on before I close off on the show, right? So, just for the purpose of transparency, it's not because they're out of favor with the gaffer, although I can't speak for Lauren Donaldson himself. On this occasion, I think it's pretty much safe to say, mind you, Konya Plummer was our captain. Whether or not she will go back to donning the captain's armband, be it under Lauren Donaldson or with another gaffer somewhere in the future, who knows? So for the time being, I don't think there's going to be a change of guard. The captain is Bunny Shaw. But yes, so hopefully we're all on the same lines there. If I can scroll through my notes, I think I might need to put my glasses on, guys. Not because I can't see clearly, but the lights burn in my eyes. And today at work, I found my eyes flickering. And when it starts to flicker, it simply means I've been sat in front of the screen for way too long. But I'm gonna try and soldier this one through because I might look a little bit weird staring at you guys in what should be sunglasses. All right, Crystal, no, call the people, them call you, wake up out of your bed and tell them about the sky. I'm waiting for that phone to go off, by the way, Mr. Scott. You keep telling me that you're going to call in, and I'll know. I don't know, you must be on another planet. I don't know, maybe you put the call. I don't know, maybe it's not a call in that you leading me on to. Maybe you put a message in a bottle and throw it in the ocean somewhere. If in that case, it makes perfect sense why I haven't heard from you yet. But anyways, I'm not going to hold it against you because you are always here. I think I've rambled on for long enough, don't you? All right, let's just get into the squad announcement. Let's count this. It's 26 players here, guys. I'm gonna start from how it was sent, how it was distributed, so it's not favoritism. I'm just starting from I would say starting from the back, but it's not starting from the back because it's all over the place. So I'm just gonna read it to you as it came through. So we have Rebecca Spencer, Sydney Schneider, Alison Swaby, Chantel Swaby, Satara Murray, Denden Blackwood, Tierney Wiltshire, Atlanta Primus, Drew Spence, Chinalu Asher, Havana Salone, Bonnie, Trudy Carter, Siobhan Wilson, Shania Hales, Kayla McCoy, Tiffany Cameron, Vian Sampson, Paige Bailey Gale, Rachel Jones, Shayna Matthews, Zoe Matthews, Trudy Brown, Konya Plummer, get this, Chanel Buckley, and also Leah Brooks complete the pack. Let me know what you guys think of the squad announcement. If you want me to reiterate what's been said, then just drop a comment in the comment section and I'll do exactly that. I would like to bring it up on screen for you. I tested it out earlier on and I didn't like how it looked. So I've got it on my on the screen in front of me, 1 to 26. But when I put it on the screen, it looked a little bit what do you call it? It looked a little bit jumbled all together. Even I couldn't read it. You're confusing me there, Mr. Scott. Sorry, I had to reread your comments. Sorry for the brief little bit of silence there. But yeah, as I was saying, if you guys want me to reread the squad announcement, then let me know and I will do exactly that. I think you might need to add a little bit of clarity to that, Mr. Scott, because you're spinning my head a bit. Yeah, you lost me. I've read that several times. You lost me. You're gonna have to rewrite that or add some clarity to it because you're making me do some deep thinking at gone past 3 a.m. in the morning. I ain't really in the mood to think too deep. So yeah, if you're just tuning in, I hope you haven't forgotten your manners. I hope you've hit the like button. New rule, guys, when you come into the live stream, hit the like button. This is like my home. You wouldn't come into my home, I assume you wouldn't, without saying good day, good evening, good morning, whatever. So hit the like button as your way of saying hello, right? Let's practice some good manners. So yeah, if you want me to go through that squad announcement again, then do let me know. I did say that at least one person would be a little bit split down the middle, and clearly you can see who I was referring to. He's saying no Marlo Sweatman, but I know adding to that bit of news that he'll be delighted for the recall of Konya Plummer, one of his favorite players. Right, so let me know what you guys make of the squad announcement. I know quite a few of you are delighted to see the recall as well for Matthews, Cheyna Matthews, that is. So let me know what you guys make of the recall. I'm more than happy to go through the announcement once more, particularly if you're just tuning in. Can you read it? Of course. I actually wanted to read it again. I was so excited. I was just waiting on someone to give me a little bit of a push. So yeah, I could definitely go over that for you once more. So here we go. Rebecca Spencer, Sydney Schneider, Alison Swaby, Chantel Swaby, Satara Murray, Denden Blackwood, Tierney Wiltshire, Atlanta Primus, Drew Spence, Chinalu Asher, Havana Salone, Khadija Bunny Shaw, Trudy Carter, Siobhan Wilson, Shania Hales, Kayla McCoy, Tiffany Cameron, Vian Sampson, Paige Bailey Gale, Rachel Jones, Shayna Matthews, Zoe Matthews, Jodie Brown, Konya Plummer, Chanel Buckley, and Leah Brooks. So there you have it, your squad announcements for the games that is right in front of you. And I hope if you're in Jamaica, I hope that you guys are making your way to either Catherine Hall or the National Stadium for the Paraguay friendly there. So the dates, in case you guys can't see, because I can just about read it from my end. Uh, the first leg says clearly it's can call it a return fixture, although it's just a friendly. There's no points to be placed on the board. Just a friendly to prepare ourselves for the World Cup down under. And in case you missed the World Cup draw, that was probably done. When was it done? On Saturday, so almost a week ago. And I've already covered that, so you can go ahead and find out who will be playing and so on. Matter of fact, you can just watch my last live stream, which was done on Sunday, so the day after the World Cup draw, and yeah, find out about who will be playing from the playoff spot. So we still have another team to join us in our group from the playoff spots, and that is the Intercontinental playoffs. Again, best of luck to Haiti. They'll be competing in the Intercontinental playoffs. So one last shot of grabbing a ticket down under to Australia and New Zealand. Where is Kiki? I believe some of you would be a little bit upset. I'm gonna do a in-depth conversation about a couple of the players who are in and a couple of the players who are out. But pending time, oh my God, Jay, good morning. We're on the same time zone there, guys. So I had to say good morning because he's up at, I can't even call it the crack of dawn. This is graveyard hours. So good morning to yourself. Hope you're well. I'm not saying what I'm saying is not call the people, them call your phone and wake you up out to you. Listen, you're trying to wiggle your way out of it. You think you're so clever. You're trying to wiggle your way out of it. All right. I hear you. I hear you, but you did promise to call in on the show, right? You did promise to call in, and all now I still haven't received the call in. But nice try. Nice try. Can you please let us know the team each of the Reggae girls play for? I don't think I can do that right now simply because it's not part of my notes. And like I said, it's already, I'm happy to do it on my next live stream for you. Definitely happy to do it on my next live stream. But with timing in mind, it would go, I would go on a little bit for a derail. It's not really part of my plan on today's live stream. So I do apologize for that. So, all right, let me go back and if you're just tuning in and you want me to go ahead and reiterate that squad announcement, then do let me know and I'll be more than happy to do so. But the headline there speaks for itself. If you don't want to read it, I'll go ahead and read it for you. Jamaica recall Plummer and Matthews. Let me see something here, guys. Let me go back into my notes. Trying to wrap this up within the next 30 minutes, which should probably take us to possibly 50 minutes. I think that's enough. More than enough of a live stream for you guys, close to the 1 hour mark. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to try and keep things positive. I know some of you are probably a little bit upset that maybe one or two of your players didn't receive a call up, but let's try and focus on the positives and maybe look at the objectivity, right? Objectivity. We're not going to use the other word. We're going to say look at some form of objectivity, right? So some of the positives there, you would have heard the mention there of Chanel Buckley and also of Leah Brooks as well. And that for me is definitely on a positive note. This is something that we discussed some live streams ago. I can't remember the exact date, but we did sit here and discuss being in favor of the head coach turning to the youth team or the underage group and looking at pushing these players who are already in the pipeline through to the national team, as opposed to just going out there and scouting players who have never played for Jamaica at any level. So with that being said, I'm definitely for it, and I'm definitely a huge fan of both players. Shea Buckley reminds me of Jodie Brown. I was going to say a young Jodie Brown, but she's young. She's still, I'm going to say a baby, but she is still pretty young, and I think a lot of people tend to forget that. But they do remind me of each other. So it'd be interesting to see how Buckley get on. Will she get any minutes under her belt? Could we potentially see a partnership there for the national side between Buckley and also Brown as well? It's odd because I think it's come sooner than we bargained for, which you can only credit the gaffer for. I'm definitely excited to see Buckley and Brown team up for the senior team. Hopefully we do see them grab some minutes together on the field of play at the same time. I'm not talking about in training, but also in the match itself, either at the Catherine Hall fixture, which is scheduled for November 10th, or at the fixture which will be played at the National Stadium on the 13th of November. So yeah, hopefully we see those players. Leah Brooks, we've already discussed the situation of goalkeepers, isn't it? Once you've solidified yourself between the sticks, it sometimes takes something quite dramatic for you to be omitted to the bench. Yes, it is friendlies. Again, no points on the board, but we may or we may not see either of our alternative goalkeepers there between the sticks. I should think that we'll see them get some minutes under their belt, especially playing on home soil, and it is should be a celebration after qualifying for back-to-back World Cups on the bounce. So let me know what you guys make of the introduction there of, or I should say the decision making from the gaffer, looking to the underage group and scoping out players that he believe have the quality to make a name for themselves in the senior side. I say make a name for themselves, but they are relatively young. They do belong to our underage group, so we do have to, as always, be mindful of our expectations. Don't want to put too much of a burden on their young shoulders. As quality as they are, and they're two quality players within their respective positions, but we do have to be realistic as well. I'm not just talking about this friendly. I really see games as friendly, and I'm pretty sure the players don't as well. I'm just talking more for like the long-term future, because like I said, with this one, I think it's come as a bit of a surprise, and it's a welcome surprise to see Shania Buckley get her call up to the national side. I thought we might have to wait a while to see this one, so I think that is a welcome surprise, as is the headline, the recall they're giving to Plummer and Matthews. And just for the purpose of transparency, yes, they have been away from the national side, and they've been away from football altogether, for personal reasons, or I should say for reasons, because it is now public reasons relating to pregnancy and childbirth. But thankfully, they're back up and running, fit as a fiddle. Did mention seeing Konya Plummer there racing up a couple of hills, so she's been putting in the groundwork, as is Matthews. So it's good to see that they are fit. Now it's time to work on their match fitness. And it is officially, guys, I think it's safe to say that it is officially the race against the clock for all involved, not just Matthews and Plummer. And I'm focusing on both players because, like I said, just came back from giving birth. So for them, I'm sure it will be like a personal thing, race against the clock. But it's also a race against the clock for all of the players. We know we didn't have a camp in October, so are we now playing catch up? I think it's safe to say that we are playing catch up. I've said it before that we are 2 games less prepared than our opponents for the World Cup encounter, missing out on those all important friendlies in October probably set us back a little bit. So yeah, when I say the race against the clock, there is a race against the clock, but it's not just about Matthews and Plummer. And one player who is proving that impossible is pretty much nothing in terms of pregnancy, childbirth, coming back, grabbing the game by the scruff of the neck, is, let's go ahead and bring this one up. I'm pretty sure you guys know where I'm going with this one, right? So let's see if I can do a quick little change of screen. Sorry, but I'm going to have to actually no, let me do it a different way. So let me end my screen share there, and let me just bring it back up on a separate tab, because I'm going to need that other tab before I close off on the show. So let's go ahead, and I think we discussed this one quite briefly, right? So on the topic of pregnancy, childbirth, you can see what this is all about. We're going to dive into it a little bit more in terms of just adding some layers to what happened. You can probably read this one for yourself. And key information here is obviously the amazing Crystal Dunn. And you can see here, May the 20th, 2022 was when she gave birth to baby Marcel. That's a lovely name. And look at this, guys. October the 23rd, 2022 sends Thorns to National Women's Soccer League final with a game-winning goal. So we're going to look at that. And what's more impressive about this is, I hate changing screens like this, but I don't really have a choice because I don't really want to just talk at you guys. So, but let's just go with this. What's even more impressive about this game here? Where is it? is you can see there 90 plus minute Crystal Dunn match winning goal. And this was the semi-finals, obviously, because it says they've gone through to the finals. What's impressive about this Crystal Dunn performance was you can clearly see here that as super sub comes and goes, it's as good as you get. Really came on in the 62nd minute. Think about it, guys. Halftime 1-1, substituted in the 62nd minute. Let's bear in mind that, like I said, she gave birth earlier this year. And you can see she grabbed the match winning goal. And it's a pivotal goal as well, because what that meant was she sent her team to this Sunday's final. And you can see their National Women's Soccer League, right? So Crystal Dunn, she's not no ordinary athlete. I don't think you guys need me telling you that. Or what I'm trying to say is these things can be done in terms of the turnaround, giving birth and then getting your body up to speed and then going out there and giving a tremendous account of yourself. We've seen it with many greats in the game. Serena Williams is one of them as well. So I do trust and believe that Konya Plummer and Cheyna Matthews can go out there and do more of the same. So good luck to them. Races are definitely against the clock, but let me just add that it's not just for Plummer, it's not just for Matthews, it's for everyone, backroom staff, the Jamaica Football Federation, the players, maybe the 12th man as well. I don't know. Have you guys booked your ticket to Down Under yet? Race is definitely against the clock for some of you, ain't it? So you might want to dip into. Actually, I'm not going to tell you to dip into your savings. No, that's bad advice. I hope by now that you would have put aside some spare change for Down Under. You might want to book those hotel or your Airbnb whilst you can, because when you get closer to the all important kickoff dates, those prices are going to be like gold dust, right? Those hotel prices, it's gonna be unaffordable if it isn't already, right? Never heard of Matthews. Really? We've discussed Matthews quite a few times. She's not unfamiliar to the team. You must have seen her around. Maybe you just don't remember her. Yes, she does, Mr. Scott. Um, one game I think you should go back and watch with Matthews, Shayna Matthews, that is, Tuffy, is the game against Costa Rica over a year ago. Yeah, try and go back and watch that game. It should be on YouTube. For me, that's the best game from Matthews, period. Different type of player, looked hungry, looked determined. That's not to say she didn't look hungry and determined in her previous games. I'm just saying that for me was the most authoritative performance I've ever seen of Matthews. So if you want to learn a little bit more about the player, that's probably the best game to go and focus on, right? 30 watching only. Yeah, they do me dirty sometimes, That's why I said they got us like remember their manners. But to be fair, it's now gone up to 33. But sometimes they do me a little bit dirty. Ara, how are you? Good day. Mr. Evans, how are you? Good evening to yourself. I am hoping Coach Menzies gets the Gotham job permanently and acquire Allison from LA. She needs game. Oh my God, took the words out my mouth with Alison Swaby. It's same can be said for a few of these reggae girls. Definitely same can be said for a few of these reggae girls. So I'm gonna address a little bit of a elephant in the room. If you've been watching my last couple of live streams, you know where I'm going with this one, don't you? As it relates to player call-ups, right? If you want me to reiterate the call-ups there for the Paraguay and the why am I even thinking? It's obviously Jamaica. Jesus, I'm tired. The Jamaica and Paraguay is what I should have said. Let me go ahead and bring back up a different screen for you guys, because you probably don't want to sit here and stare at Miss Dunn, right? You want to look at your girls. So let's bring back some information, all important information for you on the screen. There you go. Right, so I think you guys know where I'm about to have my little moan and groan as per usual. Let's call it objectivity rather than moaning and groaning or whatever. Yeah, a little bit of elephant in the room with that squad announcement. Obviously, not everyone will get a call up. You can't play or call up every single player there is. But like I said in my last couple of live streams, I would have been floored had Alika Key not received a call up. And in hindsight, I'm not as shocked as I thought I would be. Disappointed to not see her name in the squad announcement. Reason being, and you guys can probably share. I want to hear you guys' opinions there. That's if you're in a talking mood. I don't think, given what we've seen with Alika Keane, club performance, club relying on her for key moments, seeing them through to win pivotal matches and so on. As things stand, she is the only current Reggae girls there in Champions League, playing Champions League football. We know we started off with the likes of Man City and Bunny, and they fell at somewhat the first hurdle, a little bit of a deja vu exit there at the hands of Real Madrid. We had Rangers as well. They also fell at the again early stages of the qualifying process. We had Gintra, and that was the club belonging to Trudy Carter. Trudy Carter is now playing football in Spain, top flight football in Spain for Levante. So as things stand, the only current Reggae girls that we have in the Champions League is Alika Keane, and it just floors me that somebody who's playing top flight football for a well-respected league, the Czech Republic, that is. She has a familiarity, stumbled over that word, to the squad in terms of youth and senior level. She can play at centre back. She could also play at CDM. Two areas that I personally think we need to address as a team. I think it's one of those areas that does leave you feeling a little bit shaky. Yes, we do have Satara Murray back in the fold, and Satara Murray, you can put her out on the flank or put her as a centre back. So that's some positivity there to add with what I've just said. But again, I think, and again, I do want to hear what you guys are saying. I think when you're seeking to assemble your strongest squad, surely the core has to consist of your most quality and competent players, right? And I do get it that the gaffer did say that he wants to look at a few players and so on. I totally understand that. But again, how do you overlook someone who is playing at top flight football at the highest level? And if you watch the football there in the Czech Republic, then you will know what they're all about. Slavia Prague, that's the club that she belongs to. They're currently on a unbeaten run in their league, and they are scoring goals in double digits for fun, right? But of course, in fairness to the gaffer, not calling up Alika Keane as deserving as I think she is of a recall. A situation in reality isn't uncommon for international football, that is, since that's what we're focusing on. There tends to be a tug of war between fans and also the coach and his or her decision making, but perhaps it will prove to be the right call. You never want to sit and wish for your coach to get it wrong, because that just means that the on-field action would go wrong as well, and we obviously don't want that. So perhaps it will prove to be the right decision, because when you look at things, as much as we as the 12 man think we know it all, sometimes we don't. The coach and his backroom staff are being paid to have all hands on deck. So essentially, they should know something, or at least they know something that we don't, and that's probably the best way to look at things. But I would still like to see fairness applied across the field there, in every area, every angle. And when I'm talking about fairness, I'm talking about the opportunity given to these players. So when you see a player like Kayla McCoy in the in the squad, or a Tiffany Cameron. I'm just naming two random players for no particular reason, not trying to scapegoat anyone, but those are two players that you can call upon rather than running the likes of Bunny Shaw or not Trudy Carter, Bunny Shaw or Jodie Brown through the ground. So rather than letting Bunny get hammered or hackled to death on the field, take her off when it's looking like it's getting a little bit too what I say, is it dangerous, a little bit too risky, because again, it is a friendly and we don't want to get our players injured. That's not to say you want to take Bunny off so that another player could get injured. That's definitely not what I'm trying to say. But what I am saying is, I think going forward, the coach should look at shielding his players, protecting his players, particularly our young players as well. Like, for the love of me, I don't know what happened at the championship, and that's irrespective of qualifying. I'm talking about the CONCACAF Women's Championship. The whole idea of playing a young player like Jodie Brown through the ground, it's baffling to me, because you have players on the bench that could come on the field of play and give a tremendous account of themselves. That void can be filled. So yeah, it will be interesting to see how we go forward with utilizing a couple of those players that can fill the void. Because they're doing so at club level, so I trust that they can do it at international level, and they've proven that they can do it at international level. I don't know if we're ever going to see Kayla McCoy being utilized in midfield. I know we saw it on the previous gaffer, Vin Blaine. I'm really sure if the current gaffer, Lauren Donaldson, wants to follow in that footstep. Probably not, maybe for obvious reasons, but does it make sense to cut off your nose to spite your face? Probably not. Again, when you're trying to assemble a squad that can go out there and give an outstanding account of themselves, and when you're trying to put together the strongest starting 11, are you going to cut off your nose to spite your face? I don't know. I can't speak for the gaffer. I can only sit here and give my opinion. I see you, Mr. Scott. I see you. Obviously, certain comments I can't click on for obvious reasons, but I see you, and that's the reason why I touched on Alika Keane, because sometimes certain things, certain decision making, with the greatest of respect to the gaffer, like certain decision making can seem like a contradiction. And again, I can't tell him how to do his job. He knows what he's doing. He's a coach. He's been doing this for many moons. I can't tell him how to do his job. But certain things, certain decision making, looks a little bit of a contradiction. If you don't mind me saying so. MPEC TV, good evening. How are you? Well, he can't exactly. Yeah, it is. But at what point do you say, okay, this is what I'm going with for the future? Because it will get to that point. It's just, are we going to wait until the last window to say, okay, no more new call-ups? I did say I would have gone with the new year, early new year, to put a cutoff. It has to have a cutoff point where he says no more new players. That's not to say that he can't rely on his youth selection, because that's what he's done in this occasion, calling up the likes of the talented Chanel Buckley and also Leah Brooks as well. So I'm more in favor of that than to go out there and get a player that is unfamiliar to the squad, unfamiliar to our DNA. Probably if you put them to the test, the only reason why they're saying yes to a call-up is because they want to go to a World Cup. Look, going to the World Cup is a reward for all your years of hard work and dedication. For me, that's part of the reason why you get a call-up, or the reason why your name is on the official squad announcement, outside of the obvious being your talent. So yeah, I'm more in favor of working with what we've got already in the pipeline, from the youth team to the senior team, and also adding to the squad if the player is going to come in and make a clear difference, like a Satara Murray or a Drew Spence, where it's like you can't argue with that. They've come in and they've stumped their authority. They make a difference. But if you're just coming in to add a bit of spice to what we've already got, you're not really going to do much for us. Might as well look to the youth product, because they probably add more potency than you with um with the way that I am with the way that I am currently looking at things. Sorry, I'm distracted. I'm trying to multitask. Let me just stop because I'm fumbling here. For the World Cup, Wayne, you are way ahead of me. No bad words, no bad feelings. I love her personality, but I watched her today, and in my opinion, she needs improvement. Yeah, probably because she's coming back from injury, right? I think that's something that we have to bear in mind as well, that she is coming back from injury. But yeah, some of the decision making, this is some of the things I understand what you're saying. And so what I'm saying, this is why it comes across as a contradiction, because this is what people bring out, and you're well within your right to ask certain questions, because your question does make sense. So yeah, with Mr. Donaldson there, some of the stuff that he does, people are going to question it, because they're going to say, but how comes this is happening, and etc., etc., etc. But I like the fact that he's giving opportunity to our youth product. I love that, and I want to see more of it, to be honest with you. We still need 2 quality defenders and a creative if we got to advance from that tough group. Tough group, that's a beautiful way of putting it. That is Reggae versus Samba, part 2. I'm looking forward to that. I don't know about you guys, but I'm definitely looking forward to that. And you touch on defenders. I don't know if you're talking about fullbacks or if you're talking about centre backs. But like I said, you've got a player in Alika Keane that's familiar to the squad. That's a player there that's played with the likes of Carter and Sweatman at youth level. She's also played with the senior team this year as well under Vin Blaine. She's quite comfortable to play in the CDM position. That's another area that needs to be tackled, that needs to be addressed. And she can also play as center back as well. Yeah, so it's disappointing. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys. It's disappointing that don't see her name here on the list. But like I've said earlier on in the stream, can't play everyone, can you? Can't call up everyone, can you? And so let's just hold our horses and see what's what. Of course I can, Mr. Campbell. Definitely can. Yeah, she was injured. She was injured. So but that's what I'm saying, with what you've said, unless there's context, people are going to say there's a contradiction here, and this is why I say, we have to do a better job at protecting our players, and sometimes protecting the players for themselves. But the gaffer knows what he's doing, so hopefully all goes according to plan, because if it does, it simply means that we're onto something special, something mouth-watering. If it doesn't, it simply means we have to go back to the drawing board. Quite simple. So you want me to read out the sheet, the squad announcement? I'm more than happy to do that. I keep seeing if JFF have announced it, because I would love to get their graphics. Whoever's doing the graphics, by the way, for the Jamaica Football Federation, you're doing a wonderful job. Long may it continue. Actually, the people on the social media for the Jamaica Football Federation, you're doing a applaudable job, so keep it up. All right, so I'm gonna go through the squad again, guys. Let me just bring it up back on my screen. I've lost my, where is it gone? Okay. All right, so oh my god, it's almost 4 a.m. Guys, I'm gonna have to speed this one up. I'm gonna go in a bit. It's almost 4 a.m. Yeah, so the players there for the games in front of you versus Paraguay. Let me bring up there you go. There's the headline: recall for Plummer and Matthews. So that is Rebecca Spencer, Sydney Schneider, Alison Swaby, Chantel Swaby, Satara Murray, Den Blackwood, Tierney Wiltshire, Atlanta Primus, Drew Spence, Chinilu Asher, Vanna Salone, Khadija Bunny Shaw, Trudy Carter, Siobhan Wilson, Shania Hales, Kayla McCoy, Tiffany Cameron, Vian Sampson, Paige Bailey Gale, Rachel Jones, Shayna Matthews, Zoe Matthews, Jody Brown, Konya Plummer, Chanel Buckley, and Leah Brooks. Hopefully you got all of that. Mr. Owen, good day to yourself, sir. How are you? I hope that you are well. And I think I've covered just the basics there. In terms of the South Korea game, a couple of omissions there that you guys would have pointed out. We have King Charles, he's already pointed out the omission there of Marla Sweatman, also of Cameron Simmons, Giselle Washington, Malia Atkins, Mariah Gray, Sade Ademola Kern, who, by the way, I don't think that she's been given the equality and the equity. Only the manager, the head coach, Lon Donaldson, can answer your questions on that particular topic. And also Yasmin Jameson. Those are a few of the notable absentees this time round. And that is how we are looking. Sorry that I'm not able to go in further detail with you guys, but yeah, it's quite early in the morning, and I did have another late finish. Tomorrow I'm on another late finish. Tomorrow is Friday. Today's Thursday for me. It's Thursday morning. Friday I'm on another late finish. So, you might see me back on here on Friday, depending on what time I get home. But yeah, it's likely to be probably another 1 a.m., 1:30 a.m. is probably when I reach home, depending on how things look at work. Coach is going to have a problem on his hands because these players who is missing, I think, is going to be a part of the interesting. I think Tierney Wiltshire is going to be one of the best back in the world. Hopefully, by the grace of God, hopefully by the final camp, the players that deserve to be there will be there. We don't need the best players. We need players in positions for the best team. Interesting. I think you probably have to work on a balance there. I would argue and say we do need the best players, but I could argue with what you've just said with the last sentence there. So I did say I would take this one to 50. It's just gone over 50 minutes. I don't know if you guys have anything else that you want me to touch on. I think I've touched on the basics there. Again, with time in mind, I do have to close off on this one. I got 20 minutes till 4 a.m. And I need to go and get my sleep. Thank you to those of you who tuned in. And I hope you guys have made it home safe and sound from work if you're out and about. And I think that's it, guys. I think that is it. Let's go through something quickly. Yeah, so shall I bring back up that video again before we close off? Why not?
Reggae Girls host South American Stars of Paraguay in two friendly internationals on November 10. Pack the Montego Bay Stadium and show some love. Grandstand $2,000, bleachers $1,000. Then on November 13, let's rock the National Stadium. Grandstand $3,000, bleachers $1,500. Students 19 and under with ID. Both games in the bleachers for only $500. Sponsors: bring out the family and show some love.
You heard, bring out the family and show some love. And I think the Reggae Girls definitely deserve our love. Back-to-back World Cup qualifiers on the bounce, and we already know who will be facing down under. And in case you don't know, I'll advise you to go back and watch my previous live stream. All right, so Sade as well, yeah. Only the coach can answer certain questions, guys. I don't know. I mean, Sade gets her call up, but I don't really think that she's been given an fair opportunity. And yes, you can argue all day long and say that you can't play everyone. We know that. It's not rocket science. We know you can't play everyone, but be good to see some fairness applied across the board, wouldn't it? But again, over to the gaffer, definitely behind him 100%, because that is our job as the 12th man. Never going to wish for his downfall, because that don't make sense. That just means that our players would also fail as well. So definitely not going to be wishing on that. Just wish him the best of luck with his coaching staff, his backroom staff. MPEC, no, that's Paige Bailey girl. Because I came home from work. That's why I came home from work, and I was actually wearing my my cardigan, and I just took it off quickly. So yeah, came home from work and I went straight to a live stream for you guys. All right, so that brings an end to the live stream. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. Shorter than usual, but it's the best I can do within the time frame, time on my hands, and so on. And okay, thank you to those of you who tuned in. As always, you guys are the ultimate 12th man. Definitely can't do this live stream without you guys. I don't know how you guys do it, because I don't even pre-warn you. I might give you guys maybe the odd minute here and there. And again, guys, that's just because of work commitments. So sometimes I don't even know if I'm going to do a live stream. I did say to you guys that I will give you a live stream when it's absolutely necessary, rather than just sit here and just talking nonsense to you. This tonight was necessary because it's the squad announcement. So I had to just come home and do whatever. Okay, the king has spoken, and I'm going to listen to the wise man himself. Good night, good morning. Mr. Red Devil, I'm gonna take all your advice there, guys, and you might see me between now and the end of the week, depending on information that needs to be shared with you guys. If not, have a great Thursday when it comes, to the smashing Friday when it arrives. And if I don't see you over the weekend for whatever reason, you guys might come up with some ridiculous excuses. You might not. Should be here on Sunday for the Reggae Girls Weekend of Action review show. I hope to see you all there. If I don't see you over the weekend, have a splendid weekend when it comes. If you're new to the platform, please do go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Also, remember your manners. Go ahead and hit the like button. It's been an absolute pleasure. Until next time, take care.
I'm John Barnes, and you're watching Talawa TV with Crystal Davis.